Welcome, everybody, to USL eCup Rocket League Edition. Teams from the USL Championship and USL League One making the most of time away from the playing field, playing for Rocket League supremacy. It's St. Louis FC and New York Red Bulls 2 in the lid lifter of Group 5. Mike Watts, Devin Kerr. Devin, we didn't even know what group St. Louis was going to be in this year. Ultimately, they fall here in this 32-team format.
Well, a good thing, because Western Conference was the boys who reigned supreme in Group 4. Now the East and Group 5. And oh, by the way, League 1 team, North Texas SC, will get involved. But the key point here is going to be charity with these two. We're going to see St. Louis Area Food Bank for St. Louis FC. And how about Wings for Life, New York Red Bull 2. Player, fan, fun, all in good habit.
1v1's group stage features best of 3, and the top 2 from each group get through. Here is Group 5, New York Red Bulls 2 and St. Louis matching up here. North Texas and Richmond, both in USL League 1, get their chance to knock off a championship side. Devin, you mentioned who these teams are playing for. Everyone's really excited about this. Preston Kilwine and Keith Mayfield have a big opportunity to step up for their clubs.
I can tell you that I wish I would have had this opportunity as a fan when I was growing up, to play against players, whether it be for my own team or in the same conference or even just in the league in general. Awesome experience, and that's a positive talking point you have to take in frustrating times such as these.
All right, these two players are ready to go. It's Mayfield for St. Louis, Kilwine for Red Bulls. Kickoff of Game 1 right around the bend.
Gear up this spring at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
USL eCup Rocket League Edition. Two teams from the USL Championship making their tournament debut in Group 5. In the blue, Alamaxia, Keith Mayfield taking on Preston Kilwine of New York Red Bulls 2. Alamaxia is going right down the field with the dribble, Devin. We've seen a couple of players versus fans before. Already you can see these two have a little more familiarity with the game than most, as it's blocked off the line, and Kilwine can't keep the second effort out. Mayfield scores. St. Louis takes the early lead.
Pretty stereotypical of a center back. Makes the first play and doesn't track back on the second one. He'll blame that on somebody else. I like his style.
Oh, the crown is back. This will bounce along and ripped off the crossbar for St. Louis. And Mayfield trying to burst his way back into position. He's done so. Clever work with the clearance. Tries to flip it in. Instead, knocked away by Kilwine. Poor clearance right in front of goal. Red Bulls had that right all the way. Watch him play this off
the boards, though, Mike. Watch this. Right off the boards. He knew there was a touch coming. An unsuspecting forward drawn in, waiting for his prey. And the center back unleashes his fury. 1-1 inside a minute. That's a change.
This looks like a legitimate, hardcore group stage game. This one looks legit. Little cat and mouse game in the corner. Preston Kilwine, citizen of Costa Rica and the United States. in his second year with Red Bulls 2. Watch out! Alamaxia scores!
The youngster's got to pay attention here. Former FGCU Eagle gets away from his wits a little bit, and notice he had sat back. The first 2 times that he sat back, good challenge, went the other way. And now to our ever-hated off-center restart. We got to get back to center, Mike. Those are the best.
Inclined to agree. Trying to get up in the air, gets speared by Killwine off the wall. Killwine knows he has to go take care of goal. Maxio working the wall. With the dribble. Well, Maxi has a chance to make something of this.
Yeah, though he's moved into the acrobatics section of our program this evening. I didn't realize that the intermission had already started, but good for him. Way to keep up the pecking order. And then you just sort of wonder, where is the youngster Killwine? Preston Killwine allowed to drink? 23, right? Yeah, he's allowed.
Then him and Keith can probably talk about, well, it's 3-1. They can probably start by talking about that. Alamaxi has made it a 3-1 lead for St. Louis. Luligans have to be proud.
Notice the ability to balance the power between the brake fluid and the calipers. Even adjustment, quality finish.
And the diagonal setup. Alamaxi quickly getting into the final third. He's run a beer blog in the past. I mean, this is a really well-traveled super fan, Devin.
What happened to the beer blog? It's no longer active?
Off the wall, knocked in. This one's for you. Alamaxia up 4-1. Devin, I don't know what happened to Beer Blog.
Frustrating times in the world, Michael. These are the questions that I lay awake for at night.
First save by Alamaxia, who's been a bit scattershot, but he's got 8 shots to just 2 so far for Preston Killwine. And Killwine tried to go challenge. Maybe it would have been better getting up in the air. It's a 5-1 lead, and St. Louis looks firmly in control in Game 1.
Air dribble. You would think it's a flip reset at the end. That's not true. They actually make the players practice in their driveway on closed-circuit television before they can enact it.
Oh, this is brilliant, but it's off the crossbar. Tried to chip the keeper. That's as cheeky as you like, and he puts it off the top of his car and in.
I tell you, Mike, this might be one of the best we've seen so far. And I'm not just talking about the matchup. I'm talking about Alamaxia and his ability, Keith Mayfield, to just play off the ball. All seriousness. Plays the boards well. Seems that every single time that he's going into the corner, he's picking up the bonuses just like that. Good first touches. Another little flip reset, air dribble, you name it.
Killwine knocks it off the wall, but that wall clearance goes right back across the face at goal. Mayfield does play regularly on Twitch. He's going to wait for this to come off the boards, and that's enough.
See the double-digit number fastly approaching. Interesting how St. Louis FC, again, multiple clubs outside of the 32 were involved in the selection process, and it was kind of a first come, first served, how much experience do you have, how good looking are you type basis. St. Louis FC well into one of those 9 categories. It was cool to see how many people they actually had come forward. Tyler Tetzlaff, communications department, had a bunch to do on that end.
Kyle Morton, a goalkeeper, was a little late to the jump. He wanted to get involved, but by then the Luligans had already grabbed hold. Devin, tactics that would make Steve Tritchu and Anthony Pulis proud. They go down into the corner and waste a little bit of time and maybe a chance for a decent range goal. He's going with the air dribble. He's going to bounce it down. That's probably his best goal so far.
I like the Selly better. Watch him on the tail end of it. Little shake, rattle, roll. 8, though. I got to be honest. I thought I saw 10 out of him. It's a bit disappointing on my end. Still respecting the crown, though.
Hillwine got a piece of that. The angle was just too tough, and 7 seconds left. The only thing to fight for is goal difference. Mayfield misses, can't quite get the aerial there. Although he can work this as long as it doesn't hit the ground. Our first goal in pseudo stoppage time.
Good way to go out with a bang. 9. That, my friends. We had a fact check earlier that 6 was not. 9 is my lucky number.
Big win for Mayfield in Game 1. Game 2, Red Bulls in St. Louis. After this.
Gear up this spring at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
USL eCup Rocket League Edition, St. Louis and New York. One game in the books, and St. Louis a dominant performance. 9 goals for Alamaxia. And off the diagonal, whoa, look at this! From half field, with that little turn, Alamaxia scores 2 seconds in. It's a record.
That's the quickest goal we've seen so far. And oh, by the way, that has to be number 1 on SportsCenter Top 10. If not, Mike's quitting his job.
Whoa there, partner. Whoa. Devin, you and I haven't seen anyone score direct off a... whoa. Flying through the air. And Alamaxia gets a second effort at it. Ultimately cannot put it in. The diagonal restarts really haven't done all that much thus far, but Mayfield bucking the trend.
I've still started a petition to remove them from the game entirely because you and I are for that head-on battle.
Knocked forward for St. Louis. That touch not nearly enough, but Killwine struggling, and ultimately the defender puts it in his own goal.
Again, first game an issue with the center back on the tackle, didn't follow it up. This time around, he felt left out from the game, figured, hey, haven't scored in a while, I might as well put one in the back of my own net.
Mayfield's overrun this. Killwine trying to back in there, and this is going to get in for, again, St. Louis. What a run he's on now.
It's going to get out of hand, Mike. 9-1 in the first. 3 inside 60 seconds here in the second game. I mean, I got to tell you, we talk about not being betting men, but I'm pretty sure we know where the money's going.
Yeah. Devin, in a 1v1 game like this, there's really nothing more helpless than knowing you're beaten and you're turned the wrong way. There's just nothing you can do.
I told you to leave my professional background out of this, and thank you for bringing it up.
Intercepted by St. Louis. Lobs it back down into the other end.
Got to dig deep, Mike. It's only 3 goals. I mean, to be honest, 90 seconds in, we've seen more goals scored in 15 seconds.
Is this sportsmanship that I'm seeing with my own 2 eyes?
No, his Google Maps failed. He doesn't know how to get around the arena.
Kilwine lobs into the corner and goes screeching toward the goal mouth, and that means Mayfield's going to drive it back into the corner again. Oh, there it is. Off the deflection. 4th goal comes with 2:59 to play.
You just kind of feel for Preston Kilwine now. You can start to see that the fan group starting to get in. St. Louis FC, St. Luligans, Lady Luligans, Stuart Holmgren, the fame galore that is the center of the country.
You know what I hadn't noticed? Green smoke when he uses boost. That is St. Luligans in a nutshell, Kev.
That's pretty quality, actually. Sam Fink probably helped him install it.
Attempted bike misses on one end, and a chance to clip this off the hood of the car and take it in. Alamaxia looks like he is quite clearly going to make it through.
Did he try and stop that and play with him a little bit, toy with his prey?
I think he's been toying with his prey for about a minute now.
5-0, 9-1. It's not a bad goal differential. Plus 13, and I did that math in my head fast.
So fast. Using some turbo.
I got to be honest, Mike. One of the best things we've seen about any of these games is 100%. It's got to be the green smoke. I didn't even notice it. Put 2 and 2 together. Well done, sir. I commend you.
Flying well off target. Look at that, Devin. Only 1 shot for Preston Kilwine in this game. 1 shot. Oh, he's able to put it in through the challenge.
He sat back. He was very disciplined, but notice, dives in too late. A little step over, pushes it to the side. Goalkeeper, defender, striker, coach, assistant coach, trainer, none of them ever had a chance.
Good use of flick on there by Alamaxia. Usually doesn't play in official tournaments. St. Louis was able to pull Keith out of competitive retirement, so to speak. He often does fundraise, though, when he does play on Twitch in a non-competitive environment. Today he's playing for St. Louis Area Food Bank. They have a minute to go here. Chance to flex those muscles a little bit. Bounding ball. Kilwine clears it away.
I'd like to see some of the defensive attributes start to come into play, Mike. We've seen the offensive explosion, but now just to back a little bit. He's going to run into, as he puts another one in the back of his own net. He's going to run into opponents that end up, challenging him a bit more than Preston Kilwine is. So maybe Keith Mayfield let the Wookiee win, if you will, for all you Star Wars fans.
42 seconds to go. It appears it's going to be a couple of lopsided games. This will carry him off the wall. 8-0 St. Louis.
I'm telling you, every single time, the double boost down the middle, it gives me chills.
He's flipping on his way in, and there's just too much speed there for New York to recover by the time he gets there. He's a little late on the draw. Kilwine tried to bike it home. Oh, watch out. The angle's difficult. St. Louis a winner here. 2-0 in this best of 3. And New York Red Bulls 2 sink to the bottom of Group 5. St. Louis in first. Highlights and a wrap-up when we return in USL eCup.
Gear up this spring at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Take a look at highlights from Group 5. St. Louis taking on New York Red Bulls 2. Mike Watts, Devin Kerr back with you. Alamaxia to the max, Devin. He has experience. He's not quite a pro, but he's far from an amateur. And Preston Kilwine at times showed okay, but ultimately he was outmatched.
Lowlights for Preston Kilwine, unfortunately, and the second-year baby bull just, was struggling from start to finish. Alamaxia showed that not only is he a St. Louis true at heart, how about the smoke coming out of the backside representing his club? Love that. New Steve Trittschuh edition is going to be proud of their E-player. And, 9-1 first match. It didn't really change in the second. And that goal differential that he was able to distance himself on, keeping zeros, keeping a good job on the defensive side while exploding offensively, is going to push him to the top of the group.
So it is a clear winner to begin Group 5. St. Louis 2-0 over New York Red Bulls 2. For Devin Kerr and our producer Sharni Yerke, Mike Watts saying, thanks for watching USL eCup Rocket League Edition. So long for now.